Hi all. Super quick grocery haul. Time rolls fast. And speaking of time rolling fast, it is 70 degrees in New York City, which means that I have about 5 seconds before I find myself running back outside and doing hood rat shit with my friends. So let's get this rolling. I'll start off with the stuff that I didn't actually buy at BJs Wholesale just now. So, and I'm only showing you these things because I want to explain to you the meals that I'm making with all the stuff that you're seeing. So the first thing is I have a bunch of these still left over from a huge shipment from many moons ago. And I opened up my cabinet and I was like, I still have this rice? So yeah, I'm gonna be using this and sweet potatoes. So this is going to be my dinner carb situation here, these things here. I'm going to have that with some tofu. I still have plenty of tofu from last week, which you would have just seen in my other somewhat grocery haul video. That is tofu from Lidl. Each one is $1.55. I know I keep ranting and raving about it. I really should stop, but it's just so convenient to be able to pick up a whole bunch of them at once and not break the bank and have proteins for the whole week, right? So that'll be what I do with this, and then I'll have that with I have a lot of broccoli and random veg in the freezer still. So that'll be a nice, well-rounded, very simple, wholesome meal. So let's put this away. Let's get started with what I got at BJ's Wholesale. So all in all, what I'm going to show you here costs about $80. Again, it's a wholesale store, so that means that it's big portions of stuff that they're selling at a time. They're selling in bulk, so it's going to last me more than the week, and I'm already kind of planning for future versions of meals that I can use with these things. I'm also using a lot of the items that I already have in my refrigerator, stuff that I didn't use up last week, or stuff that, you know, I just have on hand or in my pantry. I'll start off with something that I'm not eating this week or any week. I got a money tree. I did a live last week. I'll link it below. It was a great conversation with my friend Veronica and over at Taylor V Living, and it was a great conversation. And as I was setting up my camera, I was like, didn't I used to have plants in this household? I was passing by the aisle with the plants and I said, you know what, I should have a plant. I should have another plant, right? Because I only have 2 little guys that have survived my horrible plant parenting. So yeah, so it's a money tree, and I got it because it was very leafy and pretty, but also, you know, I need money and I'll take any luck that I can get. So here's our little guy. If you have a name for her or him, them, if you have a name for them, please let me know. You know, I was thinking Gary, but Gary's kind of boring, you know? Anyway, okay, so what am I actually eating this week? So I have my little plan written down, as I always do. And so for breakfast, I'm going to do strawberry chia overnight oats. And as you know, I try to have a high protein meal every single meal of the day, so that I'm making sure that I'm getting what I need and meeting my goals, right? So with the strawberry, I do have some of this chocolate left. I do have some like plain pea protein powder as well, but it would take a lot of work to kind of make it flavorful and then put the strawberries in, and so I made the executive decision to use this. These are already individually packed. They're shakes that are already made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for the liquid of my overnight oats. It's 30 grams of protein per shake, and go from there. What I'm going to do also is I'm debating on if I should just slice up or dice up the strawberries and add them to the protein shake and the oats and the chia seeds and just eat it like that, or if I should blend it up, make a strawberry milk, and then have the oats in there. We shall see. We shall see what I have energy for. So there's that. I was gonna buy one of those 4-pound bags of frozen strawberries, but I figured the fresh strawberries I can eat as a snack on the go, and that would be lovely. Because I doubt that I will use all of these for the overnight oats. This is 2 pounds of strawberries, so I doubt I'll use all of them. So for lunch, I'm going to have a salad and a burger. My original intent was to have like a seitan sandwich along with the salad. Am I gonna go ahead and make seitan? I don't know. I don't know if I'll have time because my weekend schedule has bulked up tremendously. Like I said, my ass will be outside very shortly, right after I turn this thing off. So I bought this as a just in case. I'll have a burger and salad if I don't get around to making the seitan. So this is going to be useful for that. And these have 19 grams of protein each. So that's fine. I'll make it up throughout the rest of the day. Actually, I mean that's a pretty good amount. I got this ciabatta bread for the Beyond Burgers. I'm in a bread moment. I am in a bread moment. So that's what I'm having along with that. And then for the salad, I'm having kale greens and coleslaw. I'm gonna mix that up and then have it with a dressing. So there's the kale right here. This bag is a 16-ounce bag, so it's a pound. So I'll probably use half of it, and then I'll probably use perhaps half of this, or maybe I'll use the whole thing of kale and then half of this. This is gonna be salad for the week. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just throw all of this in a huge bowl, and then I'll put a dressing. Now, my original idea was to make a dressing using the brine from the cucumber salad that I made last week. There's still a lot of brine left. It's very flavorful, and I can use that along with maybe a flavor base or just by itself, and kind of, soften the kale greens and the cabbage and carrots with that. And that would be a fine side salad to make. I still may do that. However, I came across this item at BJs Wholesale, and I always think of maybe one fun or different item when I am not being super budget conscious to take with me from the grocery store. And I have been eyeing this item, and every week every week that I see it, I'm like, it's a huge thing. What am I going to do with it? And, I want to try it, but is it worth it to buy this whole thing just to try something? It doesn't make sense. But this week I said, you know what? I think the sun is really getting to me. I'm feeling very ambitious and energetic, and the world is my oyster kind of stuff. So I bought it. This is the Good Foods dairy-free dill pickle dip. And I looked at the ingredients and I thought this would probably make an okay salad, especially or salad dressing of some sort, especially with the coleslaw. It's kind of like stuff that I would make in a coleslaw dressing anyway, with the the added dill and cucumber situation going on here. So I think that'll be all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it out with one portion, and then I'll go from there. I wish I had some carrots or celery or something to, maybe some cucumber, like raw cucumber, to try this on camera with you, but I don't have any of those. I always get, whenever I'm at BJ's, I always get some almond milk. This time I accidentally picked up the vanilla unsweetened, and that's just what it will be. That's what I have now. I am planning on making some ice cream recipes because the sun is out. Your girl is out here. So Getting so excited. So I'm gonna use this, but now they will all be vanilla flavored. So I may make some strawberry vanilla ice cream. Strawberry is often the base for so many different flavors. If you go in the ice cream aisle, check out ice creams that are not like chocolate or strawberry or anything like that. They'll still oftentimes have vanilla in it, right? Vanilla is wonderful and powerful and amazing, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad that I did not get the unflavored, unsweetened one. And in case I needed this for recipe testing for the ice creams. And that's what I got this week. And those are the meals that I will be having. This, I think, is a really simple, easy, quick plan. It's getting all of my protein in every meal, and it's a lot of stuff that I will be able to use for several weeks, and I'll use them in different ways, and I'll likely show that, right? Like this, I mean, this is 1.5 pounds. This is 680 grams, 24 ounces, whichever of those measurements is going to give you a head for reference. This is a huge tub, and I suspect that I'll be able to jazz this up in many different ways. This bread, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8 of these. So certainly I've planned to use this for the work week, but I'll still have with 3 sandwiches left over to make with that. This comes with 10 patties, right? So I'm using 5. Next week I can use them. Another thing I like to do with these is use them as ground beef. Actually, yes, that'll be what I do for the following week. If that's what my mood is, I'll use that. I have some Bonza pasta and some regular pasta as well in my cabinet back here, so I can use that, put some tomato sauce on it, some greens, you know, if I still have some of this kale left over, call it a lunch, you know. So I think that's a great hack for different ways of using this, and it winds up being more cost effective than buying the like big bricks that they make of the ground beef. So pro tip there. The strawberries are going to be eaten throughout the week. If I don't, and if I decide only to have them in my overnight oats, then what I'll do is I'll slice or dice them up, put them in one of my silicone stasher bags, and keep that in the freezer for next week. I'll also be using some of it for the protein ice creams that I'm going to make. And then certainly the others, I think 15 of the protein shakes, so I'll use that. What I like about vanilla protein shakes is you can add different flavors to them. I mean, certainly these are pre-packed, so you know it's meant to be taken on the go. You put them in the fridge and then you use them as needed. But if I'm getting creative, if I'm having it at night, I'm at home and I'm not looking to you know, be on the run, then I can use my blender and then make, you know, jazz it up with something else, right? I have cocoa powder, and you know, I can do different things with it. So there's that. Yeah, and then this has 12 servings in it. So I you know, I won't, it'll last me more than 12, right? If I'm using it for different things. So yeah, I am happy with this run. And then also keep in mind that some of that $80 was for this plant, which will be with me hopefully for a very long time. I think I'm going with Gary. If you have a better name, put that in the comments, because that would be very helpful to me. I think we can name her together, because it's kind of because of you that she's with me. Okay, well, if you like what you saw, if you got any ideas for what you can make this week, or if you have any ideas of different ways that I can use some of these items for this week or the following week, let me know. Drop that in the comments. And if you're new here, welcome. If you like what you see here, you like what I'm doing, showing folks how to do a very simple, quick grocery run and make all the meals that you're going to make throughout the week and plan them accordingly, then this might be the channel for you, or one of the channels for you. Hit that subscribe button. I think it's down here, unless if I'm flipped. Okay, see you soon. Bye.